4 p.m. So
我们是
on
在
Friday
美国
here in
时
the
间
U.S., so
礼拜五下午
most
4
people
点钟
except for
开始
Sarah
的。
would have to go to work.
大多
And
数的人呢，这个时候
and,
在美国都是要工作的，除了
but
Sarah。
there's some announcements first.
首先呢，我们有几件事情要宣布。
In April, I
在
plan
4
to
月
go to
份，
Korea for
我
around
计
3,
划
4
要
weeks.
前往韩国，在
Around
韩
that
国停
time,
留3到4周，
so that I can spend some time with our
这样我
disciples,
可以
our
和我
friends,
们
our
的弟
supporters.
子们、朋友们
And
以及
therefore,
支持者
it's a light program. We will do no
在
tease
一
or
起。
anything, just regular
我们
activities
不会做佛
such
七或
as
禅
daily
七，
activities
就
and
是例行的一些活
weekends.
动，比如说
We
每日的
speak
活动、
Dharma, have
周
the
末
regular
的
weekend
开
program,
示讲法、
or
例
maybe
行的
go
周
to
末
other
活动，
temples
也
and
许可以去
if
访
we
问其他
invited
的
and so
庙宇。
forth.
如
So
果
a
我
very
们获
light
得邀请的
schedule.
话，
So
这是比较
that's
轻松的，目
but
前
it's
是比较
time
轻
that
松
for
的一
me to
种日
go
程安排。
because
现在呢，
we need to
我
reconnect with you and make sure
觉得我
that
该去
we
韩国了，这样
I
可以和
can
大家
be there in
重新
person
见面，我
and
可以
answer your questions or talk to you in person.
亲
So
身
that's
回答大
important
家
to
的
me.
问题，和大家讨论。
So those of
对
you
我
who
来说，
can
这很
make
重
it
要。
or would like to, say, get away on the weekend, because
你
for
们
people in Asia, it's
如果
pretty
有时间
close.
可以
A
从
few
亚洲过
hours
来，
of flight,
周
and
末
you can
几个
fly
小时的
over,
航班，
let's say, a weekend
你
and
们可
stay
以
at a temple for the weekend.
飞过来，
That
在
is
周末过，
assuming that the Koreans would
在
not
寺院过周
quarantine
末。
you at all.
我们这样
Okay.
的是基于
Hopefully,
希望韩国呢
by
不会把你
April,
们隔离起来，
late April or
防疫
so,
隔离，希望
maybe
能
they
够
do
在
waive
4月
all
底，
the quarantining of the foreign visitors.
希望他们在
Okay.
4月底的时候
Anyway, so
宣布对于
that's the general plan right
外
now.
国人入韩不会再进
So
行
I
隔
thought
离
I
了。
would
这是
make an
我
announcement for you to plan in
最
advance
新的一
if
个
you're
决定，
interested.
希望
But
大
I
家有兴趣的
definitely
话，可以预
will
先计
go to
划。
Korea
我
around
肯定是要在
April, early
4月
May,
份
and I
或
have
者是
come
5月
back
初
by mid-May or
前
so
往韩
before
国，5
mid-May,
月中旬
so
再
that
回到
we
美
can
国，
have
这
the
样我们
summer
可以
cheese here in
能
San
够在美
Francisco.
国，在旧金
It's
山
going to be
进
a
行
tight schedule for
夏
us
季的
because
佛七禅
we are
期，
going through
这将
remodeling in
是
San
比
Francisco.
较密集
We
的一个
hope to
安
do
排，因为在
a
旧
cheetah
金
in San
山的
Francisco
这
because in
个
the
华
summer
藏
San
寺呢还在
Francisco
进
is
行
very
重新
pretty,
装
very
修。
cool.
夏天的
Whereas
时
in
候，旧金山
southern
气候凉爽，
California, LA
风
is
景
pretty
优美。
hot,
但
very
是呢，
hot.
在
And
LA 洛
so
杉
that's
矶呢，
why
气候就比较
we
炎
thought
热
we'd
了。
do a summer tea
所以
here
我们初步
in
想
San Francisco
在
and
旧
see
金
what
山
happens.
做夏
And
季的禅期
then
佛期，看看情况怎么样。
for the year and cheese, we will do 5
然
weeks,
后
4 weeks
冬
of
天
tea,
的佛期
1
禅
week of
期，
佛 tea, and
4
4 weeks of 禅 tea
我们计划的这个期
in
呢
San
是
Francisco,
在旧金山
and
1周的佛
then
期，4
followed
周
by
的
1 week of 佛
禅
tea
期。
and 4 weeks
然
of
后
禅 tea in
接下来
Los
呢，
Angeles.
在
And
洛
so
杉
we
矶
have a
也做
total
1周
of
的佛
this
期，
year
4周的
of
禅期。
about
所以今年
12 weeks, right? 1 week of
加在
佛
一起
tea
就
and
是
5 weeks of
12
禅
周。
tea. Okay, so
这样说
a total of
1
5
周的
weeks of cheese.
佛期，
This year-end
5周的
cheese. So we
禅期。
increase by 1 week. Okay, we split
这
it
样
in
我
2
们就
different locations.
把它分在
However,
2个不同
in
的地方
general,
进行，地点
I
进
will
行。
also plan to go to Korea during the
同时
cheese
呢，
so
我还会
that
在
we
期
can
期
do
间去韩国，
I can be in Korea
这样可
for
以在
a
韩
short
国
while during the cheese
停
as
留
well. Okay,
较短的
so we
一段时
coordinate that.
间，
And
在
I
禅
need
期
to
佛期
prepare to
期
buy some winter
期
clothes.
间，
I heard that's
我也
pretty
希望，我也计划
cool
要买一些
in
冬衣。
Korea
我听说韩国
at the
冬
end of
天
the year.
在年底的时候很冷，
All right, so that's a general plan. So,
所
but
以这
we
就是
open,
整
we
体
still
的计
open
划。
for
我们还
discussions
是
and
比较
for your
开放的，还
input,
可
if
以
you
再
will.
讨论，希望
Okay.
能够获得大家的
So the
这
cultivation
个意
is
见。
lighter
投入。
when I'm there in this spring
我们
in
的修
Korea.
行呢是比较轻松的。春天我会在韩国，
But I hope to see
我
as
希望
many of you as possible
能
in
够
person.
尽量
All
见
right,
到
that's the purpose of
你
it.
们中尽量多的人，
Any
这是
questions or
我此行的
comments?
目的。 大家有问
If
题
not
吗？
now,
有
feel
评论
free
吗？
to make comments or
如
make
果此
suggestions
刻没
later.
有的话，大家可以随时提出
Furthermore,
问题或者是建议。
yeah,
还
yes,
有
go
进一
ahead.
步的有问题吗？
Black.
黑色衣服，
Hello, Master. I want to thank you, Master,
我要感
for
谢
sending
您，
Venerable Xianshun
感谢
came
您把
to Golden
贤
Forest
顺
to
师
help us to take a long seat.
派遣
I
到
had been stuck
金林
around
寺
2
来帮我
hours
们
for
做
my
禅坐。
sitting.
我
What?
很长时间
You
一直呢只能坐
you
2个
sounded
小时。
very unhappy with her in the
你
last
听
I
起
talked
来
to you.
上一次他来的时候，你听起来
No
对他很不满意。不是的，
Oh, yeah. It's the long story. I know. It's a
是
long
的，是的，
story.
这是比较长的一个故事。
Yeah, I really thank you.
我
Thank
非常
Venerable
感谢你，
Xianshun to help me to
感激
went through that.
贤信
And
贤顺师
I
一直
really
来
don't
帮我
remember
突
what
破了
happened
障碍。
during my
我不记
sitting.
得
And
当时和贤
except
顺师一起做发
Oh, we
生了
used
什
to,
么。
people yell at us all
是
the
的，我们
time.
已经适应了。
okay,
我们已经
one
习惯
thing,
了，人们是会朝我们
Master
呼
was
喊的。
here.
我知道
I
师傅来
asked
了，
for a permission
我
from
当
Master
时
to
想请求
unbuckle.
师傅
And
允许我
I
打
saw
开、解
the
开。
smiling face
我看
from
到师傅
Master,
笑眯眯
and
的，
I know, oh, I
我就知
asked
道，
for help
哦，
from wrong person. So
我求救
I
求
just
错人了，
ignored the Master and
所以我
back
就忽视
to
了师傅，
keep fighting with my
然
leg
后
pain.
又回到
So if I
腿
if
痛
I
挣扎
said
的状态
something
里去了。
implied, I want to
如
say
果我向您说了
sorry.
什么不礼貌的话，请您原谅。
And I really hope
我
Venerable
确实
Xianshun
希望
can come
贤
here,
顺
come here
师
regularly
能够定期来我们
to
这
help
里，
us.
能帮助我们，
And
来帮助我们。
Other thing I want to see
还有一件
during
我想说
my
的是，
sitting, Venerable
在我
Xianshun
和贤顺师常坐
told
的
to
时候，
me I'm
贤
a
顺师告诉我，
princess
我是
and
一位
my
公
life
主，
goes too well
我的
and
生
I
活
need more
太优渥了，
pain
我
and
需要
I complain too
吃一
much.
些苦，因为我
I
抱怨太多。
didn't feel hurt, but it's
我
a
当
little
时
bit
没有
shocked
觉得受到伤
because
害，
I have
我还是有
never
一些吃惊，
thought
因为
myself in that way.
我从来没有这样
But
去
I
看
know
过自己，
her
审视过自己。
she knows me very well.
我
So
知道
I
他对我
think
很了解，
her
所以我
word
想，
after I back to home. So I
所以
think
我在回到家之
she's
后，我就
right.
思索了
And
他所说的话，我觉得他说的是
I
对
need
的。
chance to be a
我需
better
要一些
person.
机会，我需要
Like
不
take
断的
long
改进
seat.
自己，
So
成为一个更好的
I
人。
feel
比如
I
说通
feel
过做长坐，
yeah maybe next time when I take a long
我
seat
想
I
也
should
许下一
remember
次在做长坐的时候，
what she said to
我
me.
应该记住他跟我
Not
说的话
Master's，smiling face that will help me to sit longer.
我还会记得
So
师傅
really
的笑
thank you,
脸，这
Master,
会
and
帮助我做得
Venerable
更久
Xianshun.
一些。所
Well,
以
you're
谢谢
welcome.
您，师傅，谢
Well,
谢
thank you for the
贤顺师，
feedback. That helps
欢
us.
迎。
It turns
感谢
out
你的
that
反
we
馈。
have a lot of different people,
我
many
们有
people, different skill sets. We
各
have
种不
lots
同
of
技能的人，
classes, so we're
我们
very
也有
pleased
很多的课，
that you can join
所
us in
以
these classes.
我们非常高
And
兴大家能参加我们的课程。
and they have different levels, different
这些
languages.
课呢，
And we have
针对不同
specialists
的水
like
平，也
Xianshun
用不同的语言。
who
我们
will,
非常
maybe
高
in the
兴
future,
贤
maybe
顺
something that we can do
能够在
where
未
we
来
can
呢，
ship her around
可以，我们可以把
by
它送到
boat
各处去，
and
把它
all
用
over
船
so
送到
that
各处去，
like put her on a cruise or something
比如
and
说把它放
stop
在
at
游轮
various
上，
parts of the world.
让
And,
它在世界不同的
if
地方
we
停
need to
留。
give her some incentives to
我
go.
们需要
You
给它
see?
一些激励，
So
让它
yes,
去。
absolutely, it would help.
是的。
It's fun. In general,
非常有意思。
I think
怎么说来
it
呢？
is to me personally
对我个人而言，
give me great pleasure to be able to do this with
我特别
you
高兴
because
能
it's
够和
very
大家
rare
一
to be
起上这
able
样的
to
课，
find a group
因为
people who
很
are
难找到
really,
一组
really
人，
intrigued and really
他们
interested in
特别
doing this.
喜欢，
And this is what
特别着迷于做这件事
what
情。
we hope to be able to do, to share
我
with
们
you
希望
the
能够和大家分享
the beauty of the
向大
wisdom
家展
of the
示
sages, of the Buddhas and
无圣先
Bodhisattvas,
贤
and
佛
they're
菩
very
萨
beneficial to
他
us
们的
personally.
智慧，
And we hope
他
that
们
by
智慧
sharing
的
them
美
with
妙
you
之处，
and studying
希
more
望
of
通过和
their
大家分
wisdoms
享
with you,
能
we
够
can
和
all
大家一
improve. We
起
can all
学
improve
习
our
他们的
lives
智
and
慧，
become
我们
better
都能
people
够
and
不
do
断地改
more
进自己，
for
做一个更
with
好
our
的人，
lives for the
在
world.
我们的人生中
Okay,
为
so
世
this
界
is
做更
fun.
多的
This
事
is
情。
really a privilege and honor
这
for
确
me
实对
personally.
我们来说是一
So
个
in
乐
general,
趣，
that's the
我个人也觉得是一个
I
荣
might
幸。
say allow me to be a little bit bolder and tell you this
我
is
也
the
想
second
更
phase of
大胆
our
一
work,
点，
of
说
our
告诉大
journey,
家，这是我
where
们旅程的
we
第二个
now
阶段，
focus on
我们工作的第二个阶段。我们现在的
studies or sharing and
聚焦于
practicing.
学习、分享、
In particular,
实践，
these talks
特
here,
别是
instead
我
of
们现在的这
me
些开示，
giving you a lot of
使得
nonsense and
我
talking about
可以跟你们
nonsense.
说很多的
I would like to have the
胡说的话、
chance
没道理
to
的话。
now we have better support and more
我们
resources
现在
to
呢，
study
获得了更多的
together
支持，
the
更多的资
the
源，
words of
可
wisdom,
以大家
the
一起
teachings
学
of the
习。
sages. So, for example, we're
古
very
代大
lucky
德
to
的
have some 维亚
语录，我们非常幸运，
materials.
找到了
So
维亚宗的一些材
I
料。
can't wait to delve
我
into
迫不及
Master
待地
Wei
要
Shan's teachings
去
and
学
the
习
anecdotes he
韦
has
山
with them.
韦
They're in
山的这些
Chinese,
小故
and
事。
we're very grateful
这些故
for
事
the
的
help in the
文是中文
translation. It
我们
helps
非
me
常
tremendously.
感谢大家
Like
翻
my
译成
Chinese
了
not that
英
good.
文，因
I'm
为我的中文
specialized
没有那
in
么好。
Chan characters, Chinese
我
characters, but
对
I
于
don't understand
中
anything
文
else.
主要长处是在
So,
于禅的
so
这
it
些
helps
内
to
容。
have the rough translation.
我很高
And
兴
actually,
收到了
translation in general is very, very high
这个
quality.
翻译
Your level
翻
is
译的
pretty
质量
impressive.
挺高，你们的
And
水平
so we
很
do
让我
that.
钦
So,
佩，很让我满意。
in particular, on days
特
like
别是
today,
呢，像在今天
we
这样的时
will
候，
maybe study the 维亚
我们可以学习
sages
一下
or those
维亚
great
宗
sages.
的
We start. I can't wait to
大
start
德。
with Master Wei Shan,
我想
follow with Master
可
Yang
以先
Shan,
从韦
so
山
that
大
we
师
can
学
understand
起，然
more
后是仰山
about
大师，
our
这
tradition,
样我们
our
可以更好的
heritage,
了解我
and
们
make
韦亚
sure
宗的
that those
传
great
统和遗
wisdoms
产，
are
这些了不起的智慧，
studied
是能
and
够
made
学习
available
这些
to
了不起的
others
智
who have
慧，
more wisdom than us, and we who, for
先
whether
把
it's
它
your generation or
和那
future
些更有智
generations.
慧的人
So
分享。
to me, it would be kind of fun. For me, it's
不仅分享给你们这一代，
I
还要
learn a
分享
lot
给
from
未来的
studying
各
this.
代。
Okay,
我从这些学
so
习
we
中
do
获益
that, and
良
because
多。
it's in
我
Chinese
们
and
这样
this is
做，
for Asians, so maybe
因为
we help
原文
us
是中文，
maybe Asians, especially Chinese people
亚
understand
洲人
Chinese
和
will
中
help
文
us
和说中文的亚洲人以及中国人
understand
能
these
够帮
things
助我们
as well. Okay, these Chinese
理解
teachings
这
as
些
well.
中
And
国
then
的
for tomorrow,
古圣的
then
教
maybe
诲。
we go into
明
like
天我
I
们
don't know, maybe song and enlightenment. We
可
go
以
back to
进入
study the
这
classics,
个永嘉
Chan
大师
classics, song and
悟
enlightenment.
道歌的
Master
学习。
Shena explained it. I will
宣化
explain it
上
a little
人
bit.
解释过，我
From
也
an
想
American perspective,
从美国的角
Master
度
Shenhua
做
is
一些
great
解
in
释。
providing the foundation
宣化大
for
人非常
from
上人
an
非常了不
Asian
起，
perspective,
从
from
亚洲
he's
的
very
角度给
Chinese,
我们打下了基础。他
more
是非常中国
Americanized.
化的一
So
个人，
that's why
而我呢
it's
更
great
加的
to be
美国
able
化一些。
to reinterpret
所以
or
我很高兴，
re-study,
希望能
reinvestigate
够
these
重新的解释，
teaching, these classic
我们可以
teachings
重新
to
的
add
学
to
习这
our
些经典的教
treasury
导，
of
可以丰富我们
Chan
禅
treasury
宗
in
的宝
English.
藏，
Okay,
英
we
文
need
禅宗
to
的宝藏。
increase, augment
我
that
们要
treasury
增
for
加，不
everyone,
断丰富
for
这个宝
ourselves
藏，
as well for the
为
future.
所有的人，不仅为我们
Sounds
自
good.
己，
So
而
that's
且
the
要
plan
为
for
未来的人。所以
next day.
这
Okay,
样的
so
一个计
first day
划
is
怎么
in
样？
Chinese
第一
wisdom.
天呢
Next
是
day
关
would
于
be we
中
go
国的
to the song enlightenment.
智慧，
Okay,
第二天
that's
的
Saturday
是
here in
这个
California
永嘉大
time.
师正道
In the
歌，
morning, Chan class discussion.
就是
And
在
then
第二
on
天呢是在
Sundays,
加利福尼
this
亚
is the
州早
plans as
上，我
well.
们禅坐
Sunday
之
as
后的
well.
开示，讲永嘉
I
大师
notice,
正道歌。
I'm beginning to realize that quite a few people
最近我意
stick
识到，
around
有不少的人一直跟着我们，跟随
are
着我们。
crazy about the Dharma.
他
You know,
们
they
非
seem
常
to be
痴迷于
so
学法，
intrigued and interested,
他们
fascinated, if you will, by the
着迷
Dharma,
于佛
by
法，
Mahayana Dharma, whether
着
it's
迷于
Chan
大
or
乘的
Pure Land,
佛法，不
whatever,
管是禅
Mahayana
宗
in
还是
general,
净土
they're
宗，
so intrigued. There's so many people so
他们非
intrigued
常的
that
着迷于
it finally dawned
欲
on
罢不
me
能。这
that
个
these
呢，就
people,
让我意识到，
quite a few of them
这
are
些
from
人，
the Pure Land.
他们中很多不少的
Okay,
人
and
呢
that's
是来
why
自于
when
净
you
土，
go to the Pure Land,
所以当你
that's
们
all you
去
do.
净土
You study the
之
Buddha,
后
the
呢，
Buddha
你们就
Dharma
会
day and night. You know,
日夜
even
的学习佛法，
even the
毫不
birds
停
when they
歇。
sing,
即便是那些鸟啊，
people, the residents there
他们唱
hear
歌，
the bird songs, the bird song
净土
as
的
the
居
Buddha
民们
Dharma.
居民们听
Okay,
到这些鸟儿的歌
even the
唱也是佛法。
bells in the
净土
trees
中
when the
净土
wind
中的
blows, the bells
树
in the
上的
trees
钟
make noise and makes
在
music.
被风吹
The
到以后，
residents also hear it
这个
as the
声
Buddha
音这
Dharma. You
乐
see,
音
that the
也是
residents
佛法。
in the Pure Land are so
所以
used to
净
listening
土
to the
中的
Dharma
这
all
些
day,
居民们，
all
他们
night.
已经习惯于
So
日
that's
夜不
why
停的
these people
听
are
佛
sent
法。
from the Pure
所
Land
以
back
这些
here
人呢，他们是
temporarily.
被
Okay.
从净土
And one of the
派过来的，
characteristics I told you is number
暂
one,
居我们
you
这
know,
个
you
地
can
方。
tell, recognize some of them are like, they don't
你们
care
可
for
以看
money.
到，他
Okay.
们中有些
They're
人，他们
well,
并不
they're
在
doing
于
well. They're not
金钱，
you know, they're not beggars like us,
他们的
but
情况还不
they're
错，他们不
okay,
像我们是
but they
乞
never
丐，
care for money. They don't
他
care
们的
for
状况
money.
还是不错的，
And
但是他们从来不在意金钱。
they are good people. They're
他们是
good-hearted. They're very kind, compassionate.
非常
Okay,
好的
that's
人，
part of
心
another
灵
characteristic of
心
these
善，
people. And
很
it's
慈
very
悲，
kind, compassionate. You can tell. And then number three is that
你
they
可以
are
看
they
得出来。
are
还有第三点呢，
they love to hear the Dharma. They
他
love
们
to
非
study the
常愿意
Dharma.
听
They
佛
love
法，
to
他们非
practice the
常愿
Dharma.
意学习，
So I thought
并且实
on
践佛法。
Sundays, on our
所以
Pure
我
Land
想，
Dharma
在
Assembly
周日
days,
我们的
instead
这
of
个
me telling you
净土法会这
nonsense,
一天，
speaking nonsense,
你们
why
还
don't we
会听
start
到
with,
我
and I
说
know it's
讲
not
开
fair
始。
to my disciples, Chinese disciples in particular. Why don't we study the
我们为什么不去
Chinese Pure
学
Land
习
patriarchs and
中
teachings?
国净土祖师的教
Let's
导呢？
much better use our time.
这样
And
可以
that
更好
way,
的
when these
利用我们
people,
的时间。
after they come back from here,
这些人
they
他
return to the
们
Pure Land,
离
they
开
put
我
in
们
good
回
words to
到净
Amitabha
土之
Buddha
后呢，
and say,
就
Master
会跟
Yuhua
阿弥
did not
陀
waste
佛
our time.
说，有化师没有浪费我们的时间，
Sounds good?
听起来不错
So
吧？
it's a little bit of personal advantage, benefits for
So
me
you-
as well.
这个对我个人来说
So we start on Sundays with going, you know, of course,
So
we
you
always
enjoy the
open for
show.
discussion. Some of you are
有这样
afflicted
的计
about
划。
the war right now is going on and
我
whatever,
们
you
是
bring
非
it
常
up.
开放的，你
Or
们
Chinese
个人
woman
有
who's
什么
chained by, you know,
想法，
her
有什么不满？
her
比如说，
mountain
你们对于这个现在的俄乌战争，还
slavery
有中国
person.
的这个铁链女，
We can discuss anything
这
you like,
些
but
时事
in
有
general,
什
the
么想法，我
theme
们
is
也可
that
以讨论。但我们的主题
augment
是想
this
要
this
扩大
Mahayana wisdom,
丰
Mahayana
富
treasury
大乘
that
佛法的
the
宝藏，
Chinese have, and just transferred into
把
English to
它
make it
从中文
available
呢
to more
转
people,
变为英文，
and
让更多的
maybe
人可
help
以获得，并且从
some
中
of the
获益。
Chinese not been to appreciate their incredible culture, their incredible
我非常
heritage.
赞赏中国这个不可思议的
Sounds
文化，以及不可思议的文化遗产。
Okay, so that's the plan.
所以这就是我们的计划。
So that means that more translation, please.
也就意味着会有更多的翻译工作要做。
I think Ray started by one page
我想
chart or
瑞已
something.
经
We have
开始翻译一页了。
I think we have like 14
我们
Pure
有
Land patriarchs,
14位
known patriarchs. The
净土宗的
15th,
祖
I
师，
strongly believe is Master
应该
Shen
有
Hua,
第15位呢。我认为
He's
15世祖呢是宣
only
化上人，
qualified, the
他是
only
唯
monk
一一
who's
个
qualified to be a patriarch
有
of
资
Pure
格
Land.
成为
Because
净
you
土宗
don't, you
祖师
probably
的
don't realize it.
僧人。可
The
能你
Pure
们
Land
并没有意识到，
patriarchs are
净土宗的祖师们
have very high standards,
他们的
much
标
higher
准
than Chan,
极高。
in my humble opinion.
我觉得他们的标准超过了禅宗的标准。禅是容易的，做禅宗的祖师是较为容易的。其中的一些禅宗祖师呢，我不是想冒犯你们。虚拟祖师呢，他是一个过渡性的人物，他并没有对禅宗有中国的禅宗有特别多的贡献。他只是做这个祖师，等待着宣化上人的出现，然后把这个位置，把这个传给他，让宣化上人来到美国。所以他对于禅宗的贡献呢，并不是那么重要。禅宗的祖师并不是很难做，有很多的非祖师实际上其实是承担了很多的工作，承担了很多的负担。但是在净土这个部分，这些净土的祖师，我们可以看看宣化上人，他彻底的他对于净土的教导，关于净土的教导是非常深刻的。宣化上人还有印光祖师，他是第13世祖吧，我不记得13。他是实际上是大势至菩萨再来。
So in the future we look into his teachings as well. He has a collection of his teachings that should be transferred into English.
把它们变成，把这些教导呢变成英文。
So we should do that.
我们应该做这些工作。
So to me, some of the Pure Land patriarchs I found to be extremely advanced. They understand Chan very well as well. So that's why, in my opinion, the Pure Land patriarchs are very, very high level.
净土祖师们都是水平极高的，平均说来呢，他们的水平要远高过禅宗祖师的水平。
That's why it's quite worthwhile.
所以呢，
quite worthwhile for us to get acquainted with these patriarchs, and
去熟悉、学习这些祖师的教导，更多的去研究他们的教导。
Sounds good?
听起来还不错吧？
Because unless you're going to become this lifetime, I hope, my personal hope,
我个人希
that
望
you will
你们能够在这一生中
commit to going to the Pure Land.
做出承诺，要去往生净土。
That's very important.
这是非常重要的一个承诺。
You don't make it, you don't become a fourth stage Arhat or higher, you better go to the Pure Land.
不能够成为
Don't take any
四果
chances
罗汉的话，那最好还是要
with your
往生
life,
净土，
with your future.
不要这个耽误了你们自己的未来大事。
Questions, comments?
大家有问题吗？有评论吗？
All right. So, more materials, please, for Sunday. We have a lot of materials for tonight.
我们今天
We
晚
have
上的课呢，我们有
we
很
have
多
the
的材
song
料，
enlightenment
我
slides
们
ready.
有
And
舞蹈歌
so
的
we
这
have
个
quite a
幻
bit
灯已经
of
准备好了，
materials to go on
我们有不
the
少
first
的
2 nights of the weekend.
材料，
And then we
但
still
是
need
这
more
个周末的
material
前2个
for
晚上
Pure
已
Land
经足够了，
materials
但是我们
translations,
还需要
if you
更
will.
多的净土材料，需要去翻译。
What do you have 2 days? That's plenty of
但是
time.
你们有2天呢，有2天的时间，你们可以利用这2天
All
的时
right.
间。好的，
Questions? Go ahead.
有问题请提。
질문 드려도 되겠습니까? 영화 마시기를 두 다리 사이에 생각을 칼칼칼 흘려 영화께서 말씀하시기를 생각을 두 사이에 흘려보려고 하면 그 말은 이해를 합니다. 네. 그 생각을 두 사이로 칼칼 흘려내라. 라고 말씀하시거든요. 그건 이해를 하는데요. 방념으로 어떻게 하면 안 일으킬 수 있는지 그걸 알고 싶다고 질문해 주세요. 네.
Sorry, Master, the Wi-Fi was pretty bad, so I tried. I'll do my best. This gentleman says, Master, you said
这位
something
先生
about
说：“师傅，您提到了
putting your thoughts between your legs and then
把
just
你的
think a
念头呢
lot,
聚集在
like flow,
腿上。
think the thoughts will flow. He said
尽
he
管
will
你的念
understand
头
that
呢
part,
会有
but he has a
流
problem
动，
with how
他
to
理解
control
这一
his
部分。他的问题
false
是
thoughts.
如何控制自己的妄念。
I missed the first part. What did he say about the
我
first
没有
part?
听到第一
Taking
部
what
分。
between the legs?
他第一部分说的
Let me
是
ask
什
him
么？
one more time, because I couldn't
我再
understand
来
either.
问问他，
Hold on one second,
因为
please.
我也没有完全听懂。您稍等。
요거 마스터께서 생각을 흘려보내라. 그렇게 말씀하셨거든요. 생각을 나의 생각을 두 다리 사이로 흘려보내라. 예, 말씀하신 들었습니다. 네. 그러니까 두 다리로 버티고, 그러니까 두 다리로 내 다리 사이에 내가 버티고 거기에 그 생각을 그 생각이 말라신 거예요. 그 말은 이해를 하겠는데 어떻게 하면 망고를 그건 모르겠어요. 생각이 일어나는 건 어떻게 처리하는지를 알겠는데 생각을 아예 안 일어날 수 있는 방법이 있는지 그게 궁금하더라고요. 달리 못하시네. 네. 감사합니다.
So he said he heard
他说
from you.
他听到您
You
讲
taught
过，
him,
您
or
教给
he
他，
heard that you
或
said
者说他听
between
到
your
您说，
legs,
在两
let
腿
your
之间，
thoughts flow.
让你
He
的那
thinks
个
that means do
念头
not
在两
attach
腿之
to
间
thoughts.
流动。他想，
So
这个
he
意味
said,
着不
I
要执
think I
着
know
于念头。
what
他
to
说，
do
我
when the
大概知
thoughts
道，
arise.
当念
But
头起来的时候怎
my
么做。
problem is
但是
I
我
don't
的
know
问题是，
how to control false thoughts.
我不知道如何来控制妄念。
Could you clarify for me,
你可不可以替我澄
let
清一下，
the thoughts
让
flow
念
with
头
the legs? That
在
is
腿上
unclear.
流动？这个不太清楚，这部
That
分
doesn't make sense.
不明确。在我看来，这个没有道理。
제가 이야기로는 그러니까 내가 서 있잖아요. 내가 서 있으면 내 양 사이에 개구리를 생각을 하고 나에게 일어나는 생각을 개구리에 버려라. 그러면 생각을 개구리를 따라 흘러갈 거잖아요. 그래서 그 얘기가 곧 그게 어떻게 생각하면 생각이 집착을 하는 거죠. 그게 무념이라고 생각을 하거든요. 무념무상할 때 무념이 그 얘기를 저는 영화 마스터한테 들었어요. 그 얘기. 예. 그래서 너가 이 법문에 이 시간의 법문이 이제 예. 그게 진짜 뭔가 안 되는 것 같아요. 네,
괜찮은 것 같네요.
네.
So during a Dharma talk, I heard you said something about
我听到您说
you're standing, and between your two legs, imagine a stream. So you're putting all your thoughts to the stream, and the thoughts are flowing down together with the stream. I understood this part as do not have any attachment, and also I understand this means maybe no thought. So the next question is, how do I manage my false thoughts?
I'm not sure where or when I said that the thoughts like the string that goes down to the legs.
让念头像
doesn't sound like
一条河一样沿着
Chinese
腿走
instructions at all.
这听起来不像是
So,
禅宗的 指示
let
禅宗的指导
me explain to you in general instead of trying to clarify what he wants to know.
整体
Let
上
me
来
tell you what
讲一
the
下，而不
general
是来
instructions are
澄
when you
清。
practice Chan, if you will.
在大家坐禅的时候
Okay?
一般性的指导我
When
们
you
给
do
予什么样
Chan,
的指导
the idea here
当
is
大家坐禅的时候
is to learn new skills so
是
that
要
you reduce your
学习这样
mental
一种技
processing,
能
reduce
就是
thinking.
减少你们头脑的
Okay?
加工
So
减少你们
usually,
的思索
normally people
一
think
般的
that's
人
why all their attention
会用
are
头脑去
focused
思考
upon
所
the
以
heads.
他们所有的注意
Okay,
力
in
都
the
集
in
中
the
在
in your
头
brain's
部
area. So that's why
在这个脑部
typically the many Buddhist approaches
很多
tend to
佛
be
家的
focused on the head
方法
area, whether Master Shenhua
是
teaching people to look at the tip of the
聚焦
nose, and the
于
nose look at the
头
mouth,
部
and mouth looks at the
宣化
heart.
上人教的
I
呢是
don't particularly
眼
like
观鼻
those
鼻
instructions.
观
I
口我不
personally
是特
found
别
that to
喜
be
欢这样
nonsense.
的
Okay, but
指导我
but
觉得
my
不是特别有道理
or some
没有道理
people are taught to focus on
有
between
些人
between the eyebrows, so they call it some
被
kind of
教
Buddha
导
eye,
要
whatever,
聚焦
or
于把念
heavenly
头
eye,
聚焦于
whatever.
两个眉之
Okay,
间
so
就
many
被
things,
称为天眼
and
或
so
者是
what
佛
we
眼
try to do is bring
我
your
们
attention
想做
away
的
from the
是
head
让
area,
大家
go down to the
把
dandian.
聚焦
Okay,
于
so that
丹田
that
而不是
has
聚
the
焦于
effect
头部
of reducing your
这样
thoughts.
的效果
Okay,
就是
reducing your mental
减
processing,
少了你们
reduce
思考
thinking,
减
reduce
少了你们
discrimination
头脑的
by
这个
focusing on
加
the
工，
dandian.
减少了
Okay,
分
and
别，
that's just an
聚
expedient
焦于
to
丹田
help
就可以。这
bring
是一种
your
方便
attention
法，
away
让
from the
大
head
家的
area.
注意力
If you
从头
focus, you
部转
leave
移
the
到
all
别
the
处来。
processing up here, then it's you're top
你们
heavy. So we try to
如
bring
果
to the
你
attention
们聚
to
焦于
send
头
your
部的
center
话，
of
这实际
gravity,
上是
which
头
is the
重脚
dandian,
轻。
and
如果我们
so
把
to help
注意
you
力集中在丹
break
田
or
的话，
reduce the mental
我们的重
processing.
心就
That's
下
the
降
purpose of
了
it.
这可以减少你们
Okay,
头脑中的
and in doing so,
思索
it
过
helps
程。
reduce your thinking
这
a
样
little
做
bit,
可以
but also the false thinking, the
减
thoughts
少你
still
们的思
arise.
索，
Okay, so
但是
that's
呢，
the second part of
你
his
们仍然
question.
会有
He
念
says,
头，这就
what
可以
how
让
do
我
I
们看
deal
问题的
with
第二个
the
部分，
these
就
false
是
thoughts?
如何
Okay,
处理妄念。
false thoughts is a jargon that the
妄念是
Chinese
一
like
个
to use.
中国
And
人喜欢用的
it's
术
a
语，
very important concept, but
也是一个
also
很重要的概念。
it's misleading to me. When I
但
first
是呢，
started,
在
I
我看来，
kept
它
on
有一定的
hearing
误导作用。
these
在我最开始的时
instructors
候，
talking
常
about
常听到我的
even like
老师，
including Master Shenhua
包
saying
括
you
宣
should
化
reduce your
人
false
说，你们
thinking
要减少你们
and
的妄
do
念，
away your false thinking. But
摒弃你们的
to
妄
me,
念。
it's vague because from a
我
Western
觉得这很
educated
模
person,
糊，因为我是一个西方教
I'm
育的人，
more
在西方受教育
inclined
的人，我更倾
to
向于
to accept things that are clear to me.
要接受
If you
更
tell
明
me
确
about
的
false thoughts,
一
to me,
些
false thoughts
指导。
mean
你
don't
跟我
mean
说妄
anything at
念，
all.
在我看来，妄念没有任何意义，不知道它是什么意思。这样，这是一个术语而已。当时我感到失望，那些教我做禅的人，包括宣化上人，他的这个指导被翻译成英文，总是说到妄念，我觉得这个太模糊，对我没有太大的帮助。但是呢，它确实是一个重要的概念。我来向大家解释，因为你问到了妄念这个词。妄念指的是任何念头。
It's important to understand for the Chinese patriarch when you use the word false thought, it's very profound. It's by design. It's based on wisdom. It's a very important concept that we Chan practitioners need to know. However, typical of the Chinese practitioners, the Chinese students of my generation,
我们这一代学习禅宗的人，其实并不理解，因为我们从来没有
They couldn't understand why the patriarch used the word false thought. So they repeated the word false thought, and yet they don't know how it applies to a person like him who says, how do I deal with false thoughts? It's because they don't know how to deal with false thoughts themselves.
实践中，我不知道我来
我要如何 by the way, and we appreciate
处理这些妄念。所以你提的这个问题很好，这个问题很重要。我鼓励大家提问，你们不要觉得自己的水平太低，不要担心别人会嘲笑你，别人不会浪费别人的时间。所以我想你们提的这个问题其实适用于所有的水平的人。
And furthermore, the people who are advanced should ask questions as well.
另外呢，那些水平比较高的人也要提问，因为
my answer would also
我对于你们问题的回答也会包括到那些水平没有你们高的人的角度。禅呢是适用于大家所有人的，它不仅仅针对于某一个特别的水平，它的教导就是要让你们从低到高到更高，不断的提高水平。因此呢，当你们自己成为老师的时候，你们就会理解我所说的话了。现在我无法向你们解释，但是整体而言，我鼓励大家提问。只要你们觉得有不明白的，或者受到有困惑、有疑惑的部分，就要拿出来问。这个妄念的概念非常重要，因为妄念是指的你们头脑中升起的任何一个念头，都是妄念。所以他的问题是，我不知道怎么处理妄念。这个问题很深奥。
The concept of false thought is very important. As I said, false thought because any thought is a false thought. You sit there, any thought that arises is a false thought.
升起的任何一个念头
And as the name implies, false thoughts meaning that number one is undesirable. It's false. You are a true person. Why are you doing what you're doing with all these false things?
你为什么会有这么多的
Your heart is true.
妄念呢？如果你的心是真的
，Okay, so you shouldn't be confused by these false things or whether it's false thought or false words or false feelings, whatever. Anything false is undesirable. So it's a very important thing. Okay, so any thought is undesirable.
这些妄念妄语呢，都是不好的，
See how profound the concept is.
所以你们可以看到这个概念非常深奥。它包含了所有的一切的水平，不管你是高水平还是低水平，任何一个念头都是不可取的。哪怕你是这个念头也是不可取的。
Even though you get to a high level, you still have false thoughts, believe it or not.
即便你达到了高的水平，你仍然有妄念。你们可以问我的弟子们。
20
minutes.
The first 15 minutes is just to warm my disciple up. The last 2 minutes is to tell this person that, you have false thoughts.
暖场。接下来花的这个2到5分钟是跟他们讲他们的妄念。
It is so subtle that you don't pay attention. It's very hard for you to detect it.
就注意不到，他们自己很难觉察。但仍然
yes, you're right. The false thought is something that's undesirable that we need to deal with. And not just you is the answer. At all levels, we have false thoughts. At all levels, very difficult to deal with false thoughts.
都有妄念，所有不同的水平的人都觉得很难处理妄念，这是坏消息。也有好消息。
By learning at all levels to deal with false thoughts.
在我们所有的各个水平上，我们都不断的学习，
Do not be afraid of false thoughts. Do not be afraid of false thoughts.
所以不要害怕妄念，不要被妄念所烦恼，它们会自然发生的，因为它们是我们的业报。
Because it's our retribution.
念头起来呢，是我们的业，是我们的报。
So at all levels, including
无能为力的，在所有的水平上，包括
Because the Buddhas also have Shakyamuni Buddha when he's here, he has karmic retributions
在我们这个世界上的时候，他也有业报，他也会有念头。
That's the nature of retribution. So they arise. So how do you deal with them?
那么我们如何处理呢？第一
，Don't be afflicted.
不要烦恼，不要因为有念头而烦恼。
Accept the fact they will arise.
要接受这样一个事实，念头会发生，会升起，因为它是我们的业报，业报使然，自然发生。第二点，他们升起来，升起来，念头升起是很自然的。我们来学习禅，就是为了让念头升起，然后又死去。我们可以什么也不需要做，这就是禅给我们的训练。什么都不需要做，你要学习的就是什么都不要做，这是很难的。那些非佛教的人，他们不理解禅，他们说这些人干嘛呢？终日就坐在那里什么都不做，这实际上是最难做到的。对于任何一个人来说，都是最难做到的一件事情。
Okay, so that's part of the at your level. The gentleman who posed this question.
在大家所有人的水平上，
difficult to deal with certain types of thoughts that will arise.
处理的某一种类型的
through this practice, if he hangs in there, yes, it's frustrating. They keep on arising, and they sometimes seem overwhelming, and so forth.
虽然念头会出现，甚至于呢，他都
hang in there long
难以应付。如果他坚持的足够久。
Naturally
就会自然的
learn how to deal with those
学习到如
thoughts
何
or be
处理这
taught
些
how to deal with
念
those
头，
thoughts.
或者是有人会教你们如何处理。我来举一个例
I have
子
a Korean disciple
我有一位韩国的弟
who's
子，
bipolar,
他是
extreme
双向
bipolar,
情感障碍，
and
问题很严重。
she too difficult to handle in Korea, so they send her
在
to
韩国呢，
Wei
大
Mountain
家很
Temple
难处理他，
所以
所以
participate in the
他
cheese.
来到尾山寺参加
Bipolar people, they throw tantrums. They
这些
one day they
双向
love
情
you,
爱的
next day they
情感
hate
障
you.
碍的人们呢，
Not
他们是
even
会
a
发
day,
脾气的。
sometimes within 5 minutes.
第一天他们会很喜欢你，
They're
第二
totally
天他们可能就会
unpredictable.
朝你发脾气，
And
甚至于这
so
种变化会发生
so
在
those
一天之
crazy
内、5
thoughts
分钟
arise,
之
the
内。
tantrums and
他
the
们会有
depression
一
and so
些非
forth
常
they
疯狂
arise.
的念头，
And the mere
发
fact
脾
of
气，
not
或者
quitting,
是有
of
抑郁，
hanging in there,
他们只要
help
不放
her
弃，只要
learn
停留在这
to
里，
bring those thoughts in control.
我们
Okay?
就会帮助
And
他们
especially
学
the
习如
environment,
何
the environment of
控
our
制
temples,
这
it
些
makes it a
念头。
lot
我
easier
们的
if it
寺
were
院的气
for you to
氛、
do at home.
环
It's a
境
huge difference,
会
I assure you.
给大家提供便利。
So all those false thoughts, the coarse thoughts of quitting, the coarse thoughts of anger, the coarse thoughts of throwing at tantrums, they became fewer and fewer as time goes along. You go through the environment, you go through the process of doing a qi, and naturally it will die down. So meaning that the skills of developing those types, how to deal with those types of coarse false thoughts, naturally occur. That's why she was able to survive. And then one funny thing is that she thinks highly of herself, unlike most of you.
他对自己评价非常高，和你们大多数人是不一样的。
She's obsessed about is that you got to teach me. You don't teach me, I will quit. I will leave.
他觉得你得教我，你要是不教我，我就走。
And so she said, I could take anything, but you have to teach me.
我可以接受任何事情，但是你得教我。
What is that?
这是什么？
That's a false thought.
这就是妄念
，Isn't it?
对吗？不对，不是吗
？The false thought happens to her 24 hours a day. She sits there and says, "Is he going to teach me today?"
不断的有妄念，
And she was doing meditation. Is he going to teach me today or not? And the next day, he hasn't taught me yet. When is he going to teach me? I don't have time. I need to become enlightened.
我还没有，我的时间不够。
Time is of the essence.
时间是最宝贵的呀。
And so this thought here. Okay,
所以这些念头
keeps on arising day after day, many times a day, many times a minute, and so forth.
好多好多次，每分钟。
And she would throw tantrums, demanding to be taught, and we didn't do anything. We just okay. And so we bored ourselves. So that's how we dealt with her false thought. You see that? It's not just you, but we too have to learn how to deal with false thoughts. Because just because you have a false thought does not mean that I have to react to it. So your false thoughts actually helping train me as well. Is that clear? We all have to learn to deal with false thoughts. At my level, more your false thoughts than mine.
在我的这个水平上呢，我要学习如何处理你们的妄念。
So we all have to deal with false thoughts. So the point here is that she hung in there and she threw tantrums. Doesn't matter. She threw tantrums. She wants to quit. I said, "Oh, quit.
经常发脾气，但是没有关系。她要是想放弃呢，我就说你放弃吧，没有关系。你又不是我的女儿，我为什么那么在意呢？
She says, "I want to be your concubine."
她说：“哦，我要成为一个妃子。” 我就说我不要你成为我的妃子。
So it doesn't matter, okay?
没有关系。
But the funny thing is that all this time here, if you
他花了这么多的时间
one
在这
thought
里。
there, this obsession, you need to teach me, I need to be taught, otherwise I will waste my life, waste my time. You don't teach me, I'm going to find someone else who will teach me, and so forth. Guess what? The whole time, I refuse to teach her.
所以整个这个时间呢，我都拒绝教他。我就说你要放弃你就放弃，没有关系。你要回去了呢，谁会来帮你呢？
You can quit, you can go look anyway, but do not burn bridges because there will be a time when you have these crises, these tantrums, and no one can help you.
你有这么多
Remember in the
的
back,
脾
the
气
one， place
谁能帮助
that's
你
safe for you is Jewel Mountain Temple, our
你要
way
记
place
得
in Korea. The
有
only
一个
place
对
is
你来
safe
说
for
永
you
远是安全的
where
地
you
方，
got
就是
help. Just
宝
don't
山
burn
寺
that。bridge. That's
这个
all.
宝山
That's
寺是
all
你可
we
以获得
explained
帮
to
助的
her.
地方，你不要过河拆桥。
So eventually,
所以
but we
呢
didn't teach her at all. She
但是
demanded
我
to
们
be
并
taught.
没
She
有教
demanded
他
to be trained.
他要求教他，要求得到
This is
训
a free
练，但
class.
是没有。
Meaning I
这是一个
teach you or
免费的
train you
课。
when I feel like, not when
意
you
思就
want
是
me
说
to teach you.
我在觉得你需要的时候，我在觉得需要的时候才
When
会去
you
教
pay
你，
me, then I know.
而不
I
是
think
你觉得
different.
需要的时候我来教
So
你。
anyway, so
除非是
after
你给我
all this time here,
交
after
费。
the last couple of years,
所以在过去的这些
funny thing
年
happened.
中，发生了很多有意
She
思的
stopped
事情。
asking to be taught.
然后呢，他呢就后来就不再
You
想
see that?
要求。
If you hang around long
教他了。
enough, magic
看到了吗？
happens.
如
You
果你
learn
停
to
留的
deal
足够
with
久，
your
坚
false
持的足
thoughts,
够久，会
especially
发生
the
神
ones
奇的
that
事
really
情。
bother you.
那些
So,
时常困扰你
so what
的
is the short
妄
answer
念
to
呢
your
就
question?
会
How
消
to
失。
deal with false thoughts?
所以
Hang
怎
in
么
there
回答
and
你的
good
问
luck.
题呢？就是坚持，然后祝你
Okay.
好运。
You don't quit.
好吗？
You keep up the practice. All these practices,
你一直坚持
are
训练，
designed to
所有
help
这
you
些训练都是
deal with your false
我们
thoughts.
的设计
That's
都
what
是
Chan
帮
is.
助你们
Chan is to deal,
处理
is
你们的妄念
develop,
的，
help
因
you
为
develop
禅
the skills
是
to
帮助
deal
你
with your
们
false
发展自己
thoughts.
的技能，
Period.
来处理自己的妄念，
Okay?
就是这
Good
样。
question.
这是一个非
All
常
right.
好的
I
问
have a
题。
few more minutes. Guang Ho, go ahead.
我还有几分鐘，光後請問。
You. Yeah.
네, 마스터 고맙습니다. 업무를 이제 가족들과 함께 하셨는데요. 이제 와이프 오늘 생일인데 방금 전에 이제 망상과 생각에 대한 말씀을 들으면서 내가 또 때문에 이렇게 고민과 생각이 많았구나. 이렇게 딱 어떤 일종의 본인의 얘기를 하더라고요. 내가 오빠 때문에 생각을 이렇게 많이 하면서 그 다음 또 네네 본인의 업무 때문에 올라왔구나. 직접 본인이 이렇게 내내 얘기하더라고요, 와이프가. 그런데 이제 그 다음에 또 한 생각이 또 올라온 게 저한테 이제 근데 생각을 안 하고 이 세간에서 어떻게 살아갈 수 있지? 바쁜 고민도 하고 가령 아이 학원에 보내야 될지 뭐 치료에 보내야 될지 뭐 이런 판단과 생각을 하고 해야 되는데 이런 생각을 하고 세간을 어떻게 살아갈 수 있지? 그렇게 저한테 물어보는 거예요. 그래서 제가 이거 나한테 뭐냐 마스터 여쭤봐라 이렇게 지금 얘기를 그래서 근데 좀 수주가 있어서 제가 좀 마스터한테 좀 대신 여쭙고 싶습니다. 이 와이프가 생각을 안 하고 세간을 어떻게 살아가느냐 이게 이제 와이프 질문이고요. 이제 두 번째는 제 질문인데 네네.
Master, I have two questions. Number one is from my wife. She's shy, so she couldn't ask you directly. So I'm asking these questions for you on behalf of her. Our family was listening to Dharma talk.
我们全家听您的开示，我们全家都在听您的开示。
Today is my wife's birthday.
今天是我太
And
太的
when
生
she
日，
also heard about that
她
false
也听
thoughts,
到了您刚
and
才
she said, "Oh,
关于妄
I
念的
found
开
out
示，
that
她
why
就
I
说
have so many false thoughts.
我知
It's
道我
from the
为什么
karmic
有这么多
obstruction."
的妄念了。
And she
这就
said
是
that
业
to
障。
me. And the
她
next
刚才
thought
这么
that
跟我
arose,
说，
and then
然
she was
后接下
asking
来的
me
一个念
was,
头是，
if
她
I'm
问
not
我，
thinking, how
如
can
果
I
我不
live
想
a
的话，
comfortable life
那么我
in
如
Saha
何
world?
不去思
For
考的话，我
example,
如
I
何在
need to
娑
make
婆世界
decisions
过
for
一
my
个
children, which
舒
school
服的
they need
生
to go,
活？
what they
我
need to
要给
do,
孩子
what
们做
they
决
need to
定，
do.
去
But
上什么学校，他
without
们
the
做一些什
thinking,
么事
how
情。
can I take care of
如
my
果我
children?
不去思考的话，如何照顾孩子们呢？
That's the first
这是
question
第一个问题，
from him.
我
But he has a
太太的
second
问
question.
题。
Okay,
我还有
let me
第二个
answer
问
the
题。
first question quickly.
好的，我
Okay?
先快速回答第一个
Very
问题，
easy.
非常容易。
Chan is about learning to not think.
是
Okay,
让你们
develop
学
the
习不要去
skills,
思考，
not to think.
要发展你们不去思考的
Meaning
技
that
能。
a skill meaning that you can use a
这个技
skill
能
when it's necessary,
可以在你们需要的时候使用出
then
来。
you use it. It's not necessary, don't use it.
如果在你们需要
Okay,
的时候，
so
你可
that
以用
means
它；不
that
需要的时候，可以
at
不
her
用。
level,
那么在她
absolutely.
现在的这个水平
If she
上，
learns
如果
Chan
她
meditation, she
学习
developed the
禅
skills
坐，
not to think.
发
However,
展
the
出来
times
不
when
去
she
思
must
考的
think,
能力。
like at work,
但是有些时候，
she's paid
比
to
如
think.
上班的时候，她必须要去思
When at
索，
home,
因为她拿了
she's
工资就是要去思索的。
she's there
在
to
家里，
think
她
right.
也需要
Otherwise,
去
she cooks
思
the wrong
考，
stuff.
否则
Okay,
的
that's
话，
necessary. So the
她做
point
饭
here
就
is
做
that
错了。
think what's necessary
那么
and you
在
learn
需要的时
to
候去思
develop the
考，
skills not to think when you don't have to.
在你
That's
不需要
Chan.
思考的时候，你就可以
Okay,
使用你的技能，不
at
思考。
first. And
这是禅给
eventually,
你的技能。
when you get to the advanced
然
levels,
后呢，到了比较
then
高的水平的
actually
时候，
there's a different kind of thinking
你就会有一
that's
种不
called
同的
true
思想，
thinking.
这叫
That's
做
incredible.
真念头，
That's wisdom.
这是
Okay,
了不
so
起
meaning
的
that
智慧。
you can go through life and not think at all. Did not think the same way you do. Okay? And so that's quite advanced levels. Okay, so you see, at low levels, we learn not to think at short intervals of time, okay? Meaning that when we don't have to think, we can use our skills not to think. Okay, so you have a choice because typically, ordinary people cannot help themselves. They think constantly. I used to think the moment I got up in the morning until I went to bed, it's thinking nonstop all day. Whereas if you learn to stop thinking, okay, when you're driving, you're at the red light, stop. And stop, wait for the light to turn green. During that wait there, you cannot think and rest, like with your car. Okay, so that it's less wear and tear in your mind. That's immediate benefit right there. Just like less wear and tear on your car engine when it has a brake. Second question.
汽车发动机也需要休息。好，请你提第二个问题。
두 번째 질문은 시간 관계상 다음에 하겠습니다. 시간을 뺏을 것 같아가지고요. 다음에 질문 드리도록 다될 것 같아요.
I think I'm going to ask next time, next session, Master, because this is, we don't have only a few minutes left.
因为只有几分钟了，我想留在下一次上课的时候再问。
You don't have a few minutes left. You're wrong. We have no minutes left.
你说错了，我们不是还有几分钟。
But thank you. You're very considerate.
1分钟也没有了。
Would you like to ask next time? You can ask right now. I'm sure. We have nothing to do here in San Jose.
愿意的话也可以这次就问，我们反正也没有什么事儿好做。
얼마 전에 말씀드리겠습니다. 이틀 전에 소박한 체험이 있었는데 제가 산책을 하는데 이제 뭐가 되게 먹고 싶은 거예요. 밤에 올라왔는데 별일 아니죠. 먹어야 되겠다. 이런 생각이 올라와서 과자 먹었다는 생각이 올라왔는데 마스터 법문을 들으면서 산책을 했어요. 그러니까 먹고 싶었던 시점 자체가 이제 결과보다를 하지 않고 그냥 산책을 하면서 그냥 편하게 이제 영화 원문으로 보는데 자연스럽게 그런 어떤 크레이빙이 좀 소되는 거를 이제 했거든요. 제가 여쭤보자 하는 거는 상황이 안 돼서 뭐 산책을 하거나 드라이빙을 하면서 마스터나 어떤 선호상이나 어떤 법문을 듣게 되면 그거 자체도 어떻게 보면 좋은 생각을 쓰는데 도움을 있는 건지 그거에 대해서 좀 여쭤봅니다. 이제 간단하게 그 체험담을 얘기를 하면서요. 그거 자체로 이제 생각 쓰는 데 도움이 될 수 있지는 않나 해서 여쭤보고 싶습니다.
So, Master, I'd like to explain a small experience that I had 2 days ago. So I was sitting, and then suddenly this thought arose: I want to eat, and then I said I should eat something. But then after that, I went for a walk. At the same time, I was listening to six patriarchs sutra teaching in English. And then after I was listening and walking. At the same time, I realized my craving of that, like to eat. Want to eat something is actually decreased. So my question is, if we walk or driving, for example, we listen to Great Master Shenhua or your Dharma talk, is that a good way to decrease our this kind of thoughts also?
Absolutely.
减少我们的妄念。
Okay. Absolutely. This is why people in the Pure Land, Amitabha's Pure Land, they are fed the Dharma 24 hours a day.
净土的居民呢，他们24小时都
It
是可以
helps
吃
them
饭的。
decrease these types of
24个小时呢都是在听法的，
if you will.
这样能够减少他们的妄念。
All right. Thank you, everyone.
好的，
See you
谢
next
谢
time.
各位，我们下次再见。